But all right, y'all. So now this is your girl's recording. Let's go ahead and let's jump into this next damn reaction, shall we? So, oh, Meezy, hopefully it is. I'm saying your name correctly. Shout outs to you. The internet finally turned on Keith Lee. Welp. Let's see what it is that this is about to be about. So without further ado, y'all, let's get into this next video. Y'all, let's do it.
The day has finally come. People are here to attack Keith Lee. And it's crazy because Keith Lee has done nothing but mind his business, visit restaurants, and even change people's lives with the impact that his social media influence has.
Frankenstein's restaurant is getting some major shine, and it's all thanks to this video posted on TikTok.
This is one of the best wings I've ever had. This is a 10.
Our phone never stopped ringing. I sold more lemon pepper wings in the last 2 days than I have in the last 4 months. I made more garlic knots yesterday than I've ever made.
Lee's review on TikTok.
One thing it is that I can say about with Keith Lee, I don't know why there's a level of hate towards him, and let alone trying to mess with this man. Somebody it is that is a former. Do you know it is that he's a fighter? Like that's one thing. I'm just like, why? Like y'all be trying people, but y'all try the wrong people. Y'all really be trying the wrong people. This man is a former fighter. You think it is like stop playing with people, and especially since it is now like he has something to fight for and don't want to lose. Is like I've always told y'all this, like do not, when it comes down to a man, when it comes down to like his lady, his wife, you know what I'm saying, and the person that's in his life, or his kids or his mother, y'all teetering on grounds it is that you ain't got no business doing when it comes down to dealing with that. Like, do not do that. Like that man is a former fighter, and all it is that he does is go to different places, try different food, especially like, you know, businesses that may have not been like doing the greatest or is doing the greatest, and gives them a chance. Now, mind you, Keith Lee is in the DMV currently. And I was just like, I know for a fact some of these places out here within the DMV, they are more so catered to like alcohol than it is with food. Carryouts, I would never tell anybody to go to a carryout. A carryout has all different types of stuff of like Chinese foods, and you got a Philly cheesesteak and stuff like that. That's not like a full experience of like, especially coming from New York, that was like a cultural shock for me. Because we don't call it carryouts in New York. You know what I'm saying? We got like our typical spots that we go to. We got our Chinese spots or whatever the case is. Boom. But I'm very happy it is on the stuff that Keith Lee did try and made videos about. I've always told y'all about Jerk at Night. I'm glad it is that he went to Jerk at Night, and the fact that it is that they're thriving through their business. There's a Jerk at Night in DC. There's one that's in College Park. There's one that's in Baltimore. They are expanding out. And the one it is that Keith Lee went to has been having business ever since. So the Keith Lee effect is definitely something it is that happens. But then you have the opposite side of the Keith Lee effect, which happened in Atlanta. Y'all wanted to show out and stuff like that with these damn rules and regulations and stuff like that. Even Cardi B has talked about, like, sometimes it's annoying when it is like you're trying to order food from a particular place, and then you got these 2-hour waits, and like you can't place it through DoorDash or Uber Eats and stuff like that. You gotta call in, and then they got all these different type of rules and regulations. Ain't nobody got time for that.
Captured the attention of people all over the world.
Boy.
And reflects the power of social media.
People coming in from Iowa, people from California. I had a family come up from Lake Havasu. I had people come down from Utah.
The video has now been viewed more than 18 million times and liked by more than 4 million people.
Now, I shouldn't have to go too deep into who Keith Lee is and what he stands for. His main thing is giving restaurants constructive criticism. And that's an emphasis on constructive criticism. He's not there to tear anybody down or bash anybody, but really tell the truth and point out ways.
Nah, that's one thing. That's one thing it is that I will say about with Atlanta. Now somebody that, like, for me, I was originally going to move to Atlanta before it is that I said, okay, I'll stay here in the DMV. The DMV and Atlanta are predominantly black areas, especially out here. Like DC was considered chocolate city. Now it's Prince George's County, Montgomery County, that is predominantly where the black people are. Or, you know, Baltimore is its own entity, but it's not part of the DMV. Oh, you know, that's its own entity within itself. But Atlanta, I loved Atlanta like 2013, 14, 15. Love going to like Spelman Morehouse, you know what I'm saying, Clark University for like homecomings and stuff like that. It does give like I can understand the level of why Freaknik before it turned what it did. Freaknik was so damn successful because it is so black essence out there. But there is a lot of bougie damn people that's in Atlanta, and it's not even like the bougie on just like okay, like we finally got it out of the mud type of shit. It's that level of oh, we're gonna come up off of the same people that is our people, and I don't understand that. Like I'm all for supporting black businesses, but y'all got to be a little bit realistic on some of the prices and rules and regulations that y'all put on niggas. Some of that stuff just don't make sense at the end of the day. It's like, dang, like we are the only people within our community that does stuff like this. Everybody go ahead and pulling in like a little bit of something to keep something that's thriving and everything like that. We are the main people it is that will try to come up off of each other. And I do not understand that. Atlanta gives that vibe sometimes with their restaurants. And this is why like for me like as much as like I love Atlanta, I love going to Atlanta, I really do love Atlanta, love Atlanta, but these restaurants will have these rules and regulations. Houston does it too, and I love Houston. I love Houston. Houston's just ratchet, has a lot of crime and all that. I was originally going to move to Houston as well a couple years back, but they be having these rules and regulations on restaurants that make no sense, bro. Like, how is it that I'm just going to like a regular like restaurant and stuff like that? Y'all telling me it is. Y'all ain't want no jeans, no skinny jeans, no fitteds, no stuff like that. Like we're going to eat, not to the club. Like y'all trying to get an ambiance and an aesthetic to where it's just like gang, like you can't dictate people what they can wear unless it is that they're not wearing no shoes, no shirts, like no pants or something like that. That's understandable. But when y'all want people to out here to like dress to impress and stuff like that, like nigga, we're just going to sit down and eat. It's not that damn serious, bro.
That people can improve on the process. But if it's one thing that black folks can't handle, it is for sure a fact constructive criticism. Now, Keith Lee's had a few food tours that have went bad, most notably in the Bay Area and in Atlanta, my home city, and for reasons that are very valid. Because I've went to those restaurants that Keith Lee went to before Keith Lee went to them, and trust me, they were bad. Even one of the restaurants that he went to that was on the list was near my home, and it kind of fell off even after Keith Lee came through. But this time, Keith Lee being in DC has people up in arms.
Because in this video, he says it's too hard to find restaurants in DC and they focus too much on alcohol. Watch.
One thing I will say about DC.
It's the truth. Gang, I've been in the DMV. December will be 7 years of me being out in the DMV. I'm sorry, but it's the truth. It is the truth. You trying to go to like Ozio Park, Rose Bar, anything like that. Those are clubs. Those are clubs. It is like they have food there too. Yeah. And a lot of the food places it is that's out here, if you have specials and deals on stuff that is liquor based. And if you're not trying to drink that, or if you have people that's not from within that area and they don't really drink, they ain't trying to go with all that stuff. They just want to get something to eat and all that. Like that's it. They really don't need to do all the extra stuff. You know what I mean?
It's been very hard to find restaurants, in my opinion. All the restaurants are geared directly towards alcohol. If you don't drink, it seems like it's slim pickings. I'm talking about everything. Alcohol, bottomless, topless. Hurry up and get over here. We got drink.
Bottomless mimosas is definitely like, I never heard of bottomless mimosas until it is that I came to the DMV. The DMV is known for a brunch day party that turned into a night party type of thing, especially before COVID. Oof. Before COVID, you go out to like park on 14th Street during the daytime when they did a little brunch and it turned into a little day party, and then the day party turned into a little night party. You know what I'm saying? Like you be sitting there saying like, oh, what you doing? Where you at like 3 p.m. on a fucking Saturday or a Sunday because of like what's going on. You know what I mean?
Drinks. I don't drink, so I'm hungry.
It is important to know that this is his general experience so far, but a lot of people did not appreciate on what he said. Here's some of the comments you see on that post. His energy seems so catty, never understood why he's such a big deal. This person saying, Lord, he drains the F out of me. We have this person blaming the Taraji P. Henson mess why he's acting this way lately. But yeah.
Nah, I ain't gonna lie with you. I'm not gonna lie with you. Taraji, you was a little wrong for that situation. BET Awards, one thing it is that I will say, even though the BET Awards do have a lot of opportunities for people to go there, like, and whatnot, I'm not gonna shit on it terribly, but there was a seat change that was supposed to happen. So she was the host and she was supposed to do like a skit with somebody else, but she didn't know to who Keith Lee was. Now, Keith didn't make it a big deal, but she did. She tried to like sun Keith Lee and whatnot. And that's like, I don't understand why it is that she did that. She made it a little bit more like humbling. She was absolutely fucking wrong for that situation. And I love Taraji, but you gotta call for what it is. And even people were even going further to say it is like, oh, why is Keith Lee there? He's just a food critic. Is this what we're gonna be doing to our own people? Because if that's the case, then you need to go ahead and like, if that's the case, then y'all feel the exact same way towards other people it is who made it through TikTok and is now made a living off of this, a career. They've able to impact and change lives and stuff like that. That's how it is. Do you feel about the Drewskis, the Kai Sinats, you know, the Keith Lees? That's basically what it is that you're saying at this point. Oh, why are they famous? This isn't it. Like, that's insane to me that people will go ahead and try to like fix their mouths to say that about our own people. You know what I mean? Like, I just don't understand that.
Yeah, if you just keep scrolling through the comments, a lot of people have turned on Keith Lee. But there are also people who agree with him. This person saying alcohol has completely ruined the DMV. And we have this person saying that people are trend hopping, hating on him.
Now, I ain't gonna lie, I feel Keith Lee in this situation because Atlanta is going through a similar type of situation. A lot of people have abandoned the idea of building a good quality restaurant and have opted in for creating some sort of nightlife environment or some sort of place to hang out rather than serve good food. And one of the main reasons why this is an issue to me and my personal opinion is because alcohol licenses are expensive and scarce in a lot of these major places, which means the only people that they're gonna pass the buck on, and that's us, the patrons. The alcohol is gonna be marked up, the food's gonna be marked up, the entire experience is gonna be marked up. That's why you see all these places having these arbitrary ass rules where they're gonna add gratuity onto any bill over 2 people and you can't separate the bill. Look, there's stupid ass rules, but it's all in an effort to make up for the money that they're losing because they want to focus on alcohol. Now, I don't want to minimize Keith Lee because he made a lot of great points in effort to talk about what these restaurants were like and why he didn't want to put them on his platform.
Let's talk about it. I know we only posted about 3 spots from Washington, but we went to about 12, and we made a decision as a family and as a team, and also a personal decision to not post most of them. A lot of those videos, in my opinion, aren't constructive at all. And before the narrative start, I'm gonna show a few clips of the places that we did go to. And again, I don't think they're constructive. So for privacy of the restaurants that we went to, I'm not gonna say what restaurant it is. It's the whiting with the sweet potatoes and mac and cheese. Fortunately, I won't be trying any of it. As always, I ain't trying to be rude, I'm gonna just be honest. The smell of this, insane. This perforated the whole car immediately. So much so that my family went back in and asked if they fried it in the same grease that they did the shellfish. And come to find out, they do. And it smells almost unedible, in my opinion. I don't want no smoke.
Spit it in there. Somebody will eat it.
The entire customer service experience, in my opinion and in my family's opinion, was completely unprofessional. It said on their IG that they opened at 1 o'clock. The truck didn't open up until 2:15. It took about 45 minutes. When they went back to go get the food, they saw her preparing it. No gloves, no washing hands.
No glove.
Now, I like the way that Keith Lee does this because if you are imperfect, it is going to expose your flaws. And a lot of these companies like to have a lot of different times to prepare themselves for when an influencer comes by and they roll out the red carpet. And I can speak from some personal experience, not the greatest, but even when I've seen other people get this treatment, people do give a different level of experience when there is somebody that they know is coming through that's famous and when there's somebody that's not coming through that's famous. And
trust me, I see it as well. I see this as well with like YouTubers as well. Now, let me actually show you. Let me actually show you a picture, if I can able to find this very quickly, of the restaurant it is that one of the restaurants it is that, you know, that he was talking about, that he didn't want to expose the name of it. But we found, like, trust me, I live out here. So this is actually one of the places it is that he posted up. That is from Google. That is from Google. I don't know who told this man to go to the Soul Wings by Howard University, but this is not it. This is not. I've been here and I'm like, I've never ate from that place before. Oohs and Ahs is another place it is that their food is really not all that good. And I'm like, who is recommending Keith Lee to go to this place? Who's recommending Keith to go? I wouldn't even recommend my own self to go here, let alone to bring somebody else. Is like, come on, y'all, come on. Some stuff it is like we gotta be a little bit realistic on when it comes down to this. Now, I already told y'all how it is that I felt about with Jerk at Night. Keith Lee did go to Jerk at Night, and the food was bomb. And I've told y'all this how much of like Jerk at Night is good. Now, you know what I'm saying? Anybody that's in like, you know what I'm saying? Anybody that's in the DMV area, you know what I'm saying? Like Keith Lee was here. It was amazing. And not only it is when he was here, they passed out free food. They had a whole free food outing, like they just passing out food, all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? Throughout the day. I would tell anybody to go to Jerk at Night versus going to Oohs and Ahs and then soul wings. Even if it is that you wanted some like honey lemon pepper wings or hot honey wings and stuff like that. I know plenty of places out here it is that I could recommend to other people versus like go like what it is you just saw. You feel me? You know, like that. Come on. He said, "Oh my God, that looked delicious." Come on. And I love this place a lot because they started out as a truck. Like they used to go around by like Howard University on like Tuesdays and Thursday nights and stuff like that. And mind you, like DC's not far, but like, you know, it's like a little 11 minutes, you know, I'm already in DC or whatnot. But if I was trying to go near Howard University, then that's about like maybe like 20. But I would wait out by then, late to get this. And now that they got they got different places and stuff like that. Like, come on, bro. Come on. The food good. Good quality food. Like I'm so glad it is that Keith went here. This was very much deserved. Now, Megan Thee Stallion did say on her Twitter, it's either that she's gonna have a Halloween party either in DC or Chicago. We gonna try to get her to come to DC, and on top of that too, I'm gonna make sure this is like Jerk at Night. You know what I'm saying? Do what y'all gotta do to bring her there too.
And I think service should just be service. Like it should be consistent no matter what's going on. But just like in Atlanta, when those people got defensive, obviously these DC restaurants had to clap back on Mr. Lee.
Apparently, Keith Lee went to DC and he didn't post a lot of the restaurants that wanted him to come or the food that he tried because he felt it wasn't nice and he didn't want to hurt the restaurant's business. So in his post, he posted this picture, but he didn't name the restaurant. There was no way you would have known whose restaurant or business this was unless the business came out and said it, which they did, which is Soul Wings DC. And they reposted this on their story and said, "We stand by our food," which is this plate right here.
Hey, listen, I'm glad it is y'all stand by it because I ain't gonna go ahead and do that. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, gang. It's just not, it just doesn't look appetizing. Like and that's not me being mean. That's not being like, you know, I'm not trying to be harsh or anything like that when it is I say this. But there are other wing places out here that I would recommend anybody to go to. Like even like the shrimp mac and cheese is just, like I said, I could show y'all something. I could show y'all a way better wing place out here. I could show y'all a way better soul food place out here. But you see, shit looks expired. Stop. But like Soul Wings, like I said, I'm almost 7 years being here, and I've never had this. I never ate this food before. Ain't nobody sat there and say, "Hey, listen, you need to go to like Soul Wings." You know what I'm saying? I've heard of different places, but this ain't one of them.
Keith Lee responded, and you can pause to read, it's quite a bit, but he pretty much said, "Hey, I didn't even put your name out there. You just want clout, basically, because nobody would even know it was your business had you not come out and said
Correct.
It was your business." And he was
Correct.
not trying to do anything to hurt their business.
I know people think that all press is good press, but shrimp and a mac and cheese is something that's got me pressed. That's disgusting as hell. That's worse than...
Not too much. Because a shrimp and lot, like, hey, listen, a seafood mac and cheese do bust, but you got it. There's a certain way that you got to do it. There is a certain way it is that you got to do it. And then that just did not look appetizing.
Like cranberries and potato salad or whatever Caucasians be doing. Now, we all could have seen this coming from how the internet is treating Keith Lee because Atlanta and DC
Right, if it's
are
done
very
right,
much
then it's
similar.
absolutely
They're very
delicious.
prideful. They're very proud of their food, business, establishments. And trust me, the criticism ain't gonna fly because they don't want to seem bad in the light. Now, the people that do know are gonna expose these businesses for what it actually is. But ultimately, they're not there for the purposes of doing good business. They're out there for the purposes of clout and just being able able to say, hey, I'm a business owner, come through, friends, and have a drink with me. Now, with that being said, it's not like we can give Keith Lee just a pass on how he goes about these things. I've been very critical of Keith Lee in the past before, and I think it's a good time to bring up some of those disagreements that I may have had with him before that a lot of the internet is sharing. He has an extremely basic palate. He goes to the same types of places over and over and over again. So he's not getting a real grasp of the city. And he's pulling from a certain type of pool of people who have the same sorts of palate. He goes and gets mac and cheese, yams, collard greens, and whatever fried food that he can get at every single place. If this nigga eats another chicken and waffles, I'm going to lose it. Also, I don't think that it helps
Ain't nothing wrong with chicken and waffles now. Hold on. hold on. Wait a minute. Ain't nothing wrong with a chicken and waffles, you know what I'm saying? But there was a place in Atlanta that, you know, we all went to for MomoCon that I think it was called like the Breakfast Club. I can't remember the name of it, but boy, when I tell you it is, me and Simba to this day, we have not had a waffle or a pancake that ever tasted that damn good. Ever. That place put every single bit of a pancake to shame. I'm like, damn, have I been eating pancakes this whole time? Because the way how, man,
that he doesn't drink and has a seafood allergy. Now, I know that those are two things that he can't help. I myself have allergies and I myself don't drink. But with that being said, I think that you are going to be very skewed when you do have a limited palate. Hell, I would never become a food criticizer or whatever the case may be because ultimately, I don't eat that many foods. And I know some people might say, well, that's not Keith Lee's fault. He is who he is. He's just a human being. And if he's allergic to things, he can't control that. But ultimately, I wouldn't want you to become a food critic. And it's not your fault. It started off as something simple, but it's grown into this massive thing. But people are going to give those criticisms regardless. He literally left New York hungry. Like, that makes no sense at all. I think that people have a lot of issue with Keith Lee's because of the magnitude that his word has on the people or the ecosystem that he speaks about or talks about or platforms. If Keith Lee says that your restaurant is good, he can seemingly change your trajectory for the rest of your life. Like I said, there's a restaurant that he went to in Atlanta that is near my home. And when I say it used to be a little quaint breakfast spot that is now spiraled out of control where you can't even place an order on a Saturday or a Sunday, it's something that I never even imagined for a place that I thought I could get a quick bite that was an IHOP or Waffle House. Now, with that also being said, he can affect your business negatively. And we've seen situations like this before. MKBHD is a tech YouTuber that is one of the biggest on the platform. He's been making content for a long time, so he's garnered an audience that trusts him in his reviews. I mean, he gets millions upon millions of views every time he posts. So recently, he did a review on an electric car company where they released a car that had so many bugs that he had no choice but to put out some sort of video about it. The company got wind of it, tried to get a hold of the review before he got there, said they were going to put out a software update, but ultimately jerked him around, and he placed all this on a YouTube video. Subsequently, right after the video dropped, the stock plummeted.
Can a video kill a company? The Fisker Ocean was a terrible car. It is a terrible car. This is the first one where I genuinely couldn't wait to be done driving it. Like, it just had tons of problems, bugs, missing features, safety issues. Like, it's just bad, right? So I review the thing. I give people what I feel is a fair assessment that also doubles as a warning not to buy this bad car. But did one review kill the entire company? I would say to zoom out a bit. First of all, I was not the only one to review the car, not even close. And so yes, the stock price did drop after my video. Damn. The stock was in free fall for many, many months before my video too. And if you zoom out on YouTube or in the car review space in general, I was far from the only person saying these things about the car for all of these months. Many other reviewers had been having a plethora of issues, even stuff that I didn't have.
Now, people were upset at MKBHD and said that he shouldn't have even put out these types of reviews or this type of content because ultimately, what problem does this solve? What does he gain from this? What does this do for him? But I'm here to tell those people, shut the hell up. Tell the company to make a better product. Look, I don't think that it's hard to do good business, but a lot of these companies cut corners in order to make money over anything. It's not like they're taking lessons that should be learned and they don't know any better or whatever the case may be. No, they literally know better and what they could and could not do, but they choose to do the bad things over the good things because at the end of the day, their pockets are lined and people are buying their products. So that's where I will side with Keith Lee in this whole situation. At the end of the day, these people need to have better business practices, or at the very minimum, make your objectives clear to a lot of people. If you're coming here to make a fad restaurant or a fad product, and you're not being serious about what you're doing, then go ahead, say that and promote it that way. But these people that claim to have fine dining establishments or the greatest clothing brands in the world, then you should probably deliver on those things and not not lie to your consumer base. I swear,
That's the
sometimes people
problem.
come up with these projects or these business ideas that only seem to have a 1 to 4 year life cycle, and then they have no plan after that to expand, get better, or grow in whatever they do. Hell, we've all had shitty restaurant experiences, so I have no problem with siding with Keith Lee in this specific regard. If you're going to run a business, run the business right, especially with the cost of food today. It's too expensive to be going to eat that garbage.
Now, as I said,
Exactly. Before this, we get into this. I agree with that. I feel that is that when it comes down to with getting like a restaurant and clothing brands and everything like that, everybody's trying to be business owners now. Everybody's trying to be like, hey, listen, I got the best this, and this. But you cannot cheap out your audience, because that's the first thing it is that they're going to notice and they're going to see. It's like, hey, hold on, there's something about this does not seem right with this. And this is why I'm with Keith again. I just don't know why it is that people feel the need to be harsh with him when in reality, I mean, granted, he has certain things of allergies. That's fine, you know, even though like having a shellfish allergy and you out here in the DMV that is known for like it's seafood and stuff like that, you are missing quite literally half of the experience. But I can't get on this man of the things that is like of he's allergic to. That's, you know what I mean? But moving forward, when it comes down to this, I do feel that with restaurants, there's things it is that like restaurants can able to learn from these things, and there's also things that is that everybody else can also learn from this as well. But I need y'all to stop getting on this man and trying to make it seem like it is that he's like this terrible person, or he's this chauvinistic, cocky person and stuff like that. He never showed that whatsoever. Not at all. Like y'all just trying to find anything to just not like this man, and that's weird to me. Y'all do the same thing with Kai Cenat all the fucking time. Like, oh, I just don't like him. Oh, there's something about him. What? Oh my gosh. So Omeezy, shout outs to you. Thank you so much for the video. What's good, Peg? Shout outs to y'all in the chat. Shout outs to you at home. I'll catch y'all in the next video.